Hello. All right, so we're waiting for Adelia. Picky Girl Travels. We are going live to talk about Reclaim the Retreat and answering some of our most commonly asked questions. Oh, there she is. Please hold. She. No, I said yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, oh man, I am laughing because I was trying to take a nap and forgot.
This is why I pull up my calendar multiple times a day because I'm like, I will forget and make plans. And yeah,
Well, I I wonder if there is no reminder on that because I don't remember my phone telling me 30 minutes before. I don't remember
well,
that.
it may not be a 30-minute notification. I don't do 30-minute notifications. So if I'm the one who put it on the calendar, it probably defaults to whatever mine is, which is like 10 minutes.
Oh, cause man, you just don't know like how I was really about to take a nap.
Yeah. 30 minutes is so many minutes. Like I'll forget
True.
again. And if I'm in a meeting, 30 minutes is like too many minutes for me to be thinking about the next thing.
I get it. I get it. Hey, Deron. Hey, Val. I see a few familiar
Hello, hello.
faces in
Uh, I hope you realize that you have the list of questions.
Yes, I have the questions. I
Okay.
have the questions. Once I was reminded that we said we were going to do this, not bad, in less than 15 minutes, I got up, showered, and got dressed, and got my computer here and the phone and all of that.
Oh, you
So,
did a lot to prepare for this. I didn't. I did put on this dress, you know?
okay. So, we thought we get questions every so often about the retreat, and earlier this month we actually released the schedule for 2024, new locations, multiple dates, and so we thought, it's probably a good idea and come on here and talk about some of these things so folks can make informed decisions and all of that good kind of stuff. So we've got some questions that have already been submitted to us. But if you've got questions,
Let us know.
please put those here and we can answer them while we're here. Okay, so the first question, we got this a lot. What?
I was just going to say, before we jump into what the questions are, should we maybe tell people what Reclaim is in case there are people who are unfamiliar?
Yes. Why don't you do that, Ivana?
Okay, so Reclaim the Retreat is a joint venture between Adelia and myself. It is a week-long retreat in what started out as just El Salvador. 2024 will be 4 different locations, but it is a week-long retreat for women and femmes to reclaim our identities, our happiness, and our peace. So it is part coaching, where we talk about how we're spending our time, our money, our goals, what our values are, and getting really clear on who we are and who we want to be at this moment in time. There is also a cultural component where we really connect with and learn about the place and where we are hosting these retreats, the people who live there. And then we do some fun stuff like surfing, and our February retreat is actually a special Galentine's Day edition. So we're going to be doing some additional activities that are not in our classic El Salvador retreat, such as whale watching. We'll have a photographer come and hang out with us. But yeah, it'll be a really great time. So if that is of interest to you, go to reclaimtheretreat.com for more information.
Okay, so it's us, it's a week, there's coaching, there's learning, there's a lot of eating. There's probably going to be dancing. So yeah, it is a good time all around. We got this first question a lot because we had the first retreat in March. Well, actually, we were planning for November 2023. There is a retreat happening November 15th through the 21st. It is sold out, okay? But, and so because of the response, we offered another date in March. And ever since then, people have been like, hey, once we had the March retreat and November sold out, people were like, hey, are y'all hosting more retreats? Yeah. As a matter of fact, we are hosting 5 in 2024, 4 or 5, something like that.
Yeah.
5 retreats, possibly 4 different locations, I think is what it is. So yes, we will be hosting the retreats. We want these experiences to be intimate. And so there is a cap on the size. And so like we can't have a retreat and have like 50 people there. That's not going to work. So given that we're keeping them small, we will have to have multiples. Okay. Ivana mentioned that currently you can register for the February 2024 retreat, which starts on February 14th. I think it's the 14th through the 20th.
Yeah, that's accurate.
That registration is open for that. That will be in El Salvador, but it is special. It is not our traditional retreat because it is Galentine's Day, and we thought, let's make it special in honor of that. And so right now, there is early bird pricing for that retreat. And so this is the lowest price that retreat will be available for. And so the question we got was, when does early bird pricing end?
Mm-hmm.
Soon.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Dates are not really my specialty. Okay, I don't even know what today is. I had to double check that it was Tuesday. So just know that it's soon.
Soon.
As in maybe within the next week. So if you are considering, thinking about, contemplating, you want to put down your deposit now, lock in that early bird price, because it's going to be a good time.
And the deposit is $350. It is non-refundable. But if, because I'm going to be real, we have had this conversation about when early bird pricing should end. And repeatedly at the end of that conversation, we don't have an answer, but we do know it's soon. So if you're like, yes, I want to be, that's perfectly, I love the idea of celebrating Galentine's with some other ladies who enjoy travel and are working on their lives and all of that, put the deposit down so you can snag the early bird price.
Yes, and once you put down that deposit, there are payment plan options available.
Which is another question we got. Is there a payment plan? Yes. Do you recall how many payments it is?
I want to say the max is 4. Yeah.
Is the max 4? I thought the max might be more than that, but there is a payment plan. We do know that.
Yeah, I think the max is 4, but there's a couple of different options. Our logistics team, Reroute, they handle all of that. So when you do sign up, that is you get your emails and everything from, so they handle the logistics. We could not do this without Dr. Kiona and Robin and the Reroute team. And so if you go to reclaimtheretreat.com, you can click on the link to see more of the details about our Galentine's Day retreat and to put down your $350 deposit.
Okay. So that was a question about early bird pricing, about a payment plan. Okay, will all of the retreats have the same price?
No.
No, because
go ahead.
I was going to say, because Hawaii, which is one of the places we are going, is not not the most inexpensive place, and so that price is going to be different.
Right. So, our locations change, the activities that we choose to do changes. We are very focused on making sure that we are in community with the local people, and that they are earning, a living wage, not just what they may earn, right? What minimum wage may be in the place that they live, but can truly, support themselves as a method through these trips, and that is very important to us. And so with that comes different pricing, but know that all of the money that you do spend does go back into the local community, and it stays within that community. I think Hawaii specifically is a place we think of as this, it's the resort stay, it's the island, it's beautiful, but that's not the reality of the people who live on the island, who are native Hawaiian. And so we want to make sure that we are working directly with those people, and that the money that we are spending stays on the island, right? Which is not true when you are doing a typical resort vacation.
No, and so, yeah, it boils down to different locations, different activities, and wages in different places are different. And we are committed to making sure that the bulk of the money that is involved in these trips stays within the community we are visiting, and that people make a fair wage, a living wage, not necessarily the local wage.
Correct.
All right. The epileptic wanderer wants to know, can you do the deposit now for December?
No. Right now, the only trip that you can register for is our February option, is the Valentine's Day retreat. But if you're not already, I do recommend getting on our wait list. If the December treat is specifically the one that you're interested in, you can get on the wait list for that date, for that location. And as soon as that is open for registration, you'll be the first to know. So that you can also find at reclaimtheretreat.com.
Okay. All right. Okay. What is included in the retreats? So when you sign up, you pay your $350 deposit. You may choose to pay all in one. You may choose to do the payment plan. What do you get? You get 7 days, 6 nights hotel accommodations. You get all of your meals. You get all of the activities. You get, if you're coming, what's that?
Transportation.
Oh, transportation. We take care of the airport transportations, all of the transportation while we're doing our thing for the week. If you are coming to Galentine's, that includes some extra activities. Am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so. Essentially, the only things that are not included are your $12 entrance fee to enter the country of El Salvador for your visa, which is on arrival. Any alcohol, each meal, comes with a drink, but if you want anything in addition to that, when we go out at night, essentially we no longer, that is for fun, that is not part of the trip. So any drinks after hours or any additional alcohol, that is on you, any souvenirs, and then, obviously any snacks or additional food, but you do get 3 solid meals a day. That is all included. So ultimately, if for you really only have to pay the $39.50 early bird price. That includes everything. Oh, and your flight. Your flight is not included. But once you hit the ground, everything is taken care of. So you don't have to spend any more money if you don't want to. It really depends on you and how you would like to, spend your time.
Side note, at least last week, we know that several of the airlines were running flight deals to Central America.
From the U.S.
United, Copa,
Avianca.
Avianca, and was American too?
I don't know.
I can't remember. But super, super good flight deals that covered February 2024. So, if you're thinking, oh, well, that's a great price, but what about airfare? You can get some really good deals on airfare to El Salvador. And there's only one airport in El Salvador, so you can't get confused about where to buy the ticket. We talked about, is there a payment plan? Do I need travel insurance? Yes, you do.
Yeah. That is something, regardless of the trip, whether you are traveling with us or not, you should have travel insurance, especially with the nature of travel these days and flight delays and cancellations and all of the above. Travel insurance is your friend.
I was just reading something about people saying, I have to go to this place for a wedding. And as soon as I bought the ticket, I was already thinking, making my peace with, my flight probably going to get canceled. I'm going to be delayed. The travel world right now sucks. So travel insurance that covers, trip interruption, lost luggage, flight delays, that kind of insurance. That also covers medical evacuation. If you twist your ankle, break your ankle or your femur or whatever, and you need to be flown back to your home country, that is not cheap. I think you're talking about something about 30 grand USD minimum, because I was reading something not too long ago about a woman who was injured and needed to fly back and didn't want to be medically evacuated, but they wouldn't sell her a ticket because being how she needed to sit during the flight, was a health safety issue, that sort of thing. So yes, you should get travel insurance. In the price of the retreat, that does not include travel insurance, but we're talking about what could be an extra, at most, I feel like what I pay for travel insurance is a lot because of my age and because I do not live in the US. And at most, I'm paying $100 extra on top of what I'm paying to travel for the, peace of mind of knowing if something goes wrong. I have some recourse. I have something to back me up there.
Right.
Okay. We have another question in here about the November retreat this year. Okay. Has the schedule been released?
The itinerary is, well, I don't know. We can access that now. Right now, we're focused on February, but the itinerary, I believe you should have been sent when you registered, when you put down your deposit. If that is something you need, again, I would reach out to Robin, who has been your main contact for the retreat with travel waivers, menu stuff. His email is inquiries with an E .drkiona@gmail.com. But you should have other emails from him if you don't already have the general itinerary You can definitely get
generally. I don't think it's like, at this point, I don't think you're going to get like, at this time, we're doing this,
no,
this, and
we
that.
don't,
But
that is all very dependent on, things can change. And so we do not give out that information until, we are on the ground and everything like that. So you won't get specifics, but that will at least let you know what your days will generally look like while you're with us.
okay.
I saw another question. For the retreat dates, February 14th through the 20th is our Valentine's Day retreat in El Salvador. So go to reclaimtheretreat.com to see more information and to put down your deposit.
Okay. And if you want to know, if for some reason, let's say you already got Valentine's Day plans and you're like, but when are the other retreats? That is all on reclaimtheretreat.com, the dates for the other ones that just are not on sale right now.
Yeah. I know we've mentioned Hawaii. Do you want to tell them where else we're planning for 2024?
We are going to El Salvador. We are going to Hawaii. And we are going to Mexico, to Oaxaca, Mexico, and we might be going somewhere else. We're still working on that one. So I think we've got a really good lineup of locations to do the kind of things that we're doing in this retreat, because as Ivana has mentioned, and we've talked about this before, it's not just, hey, we're going someplace pretty for a vacation. You get vacation, but you also get the coaching, but you also get to do and see things that you probably would not on a regular trip you were doing yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we call these retreats Reclaim, and not just because of the work that Adelia and I are doing together that we are helping you with and reclaiming our own identity, but it's very much tied to the locations that we choose and the people that we choose to work with, because these are locations where the people, are trying to get in touch. El Salvador, they're trying to reconnect with their indigenous heritage and customs and practices. They are trying to reclaim their reputation in the public sphere, right? Hawaii, as with the rest of the U.S., is occupied land, right? The indigenous Hawaiian people are doing their work, right, in trying to take back their islands. And a lot of times, I think especially even in like the quote-unquote wellness space, a lot of that gets lost, right, as you're talking about travel and seeing these places. And we like to do that from a place of respect, from a place of cultural exchange. As Black American women, we very much understand what it is like to not have full control over your identity, what you do, what that looks like, where you live, right?
Yes.
That is part of our history as well. And so it is very important to us that if we are bringing, essentially outsiders into a space that is also not ours, that we are doing that from a place of respect and connection.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because another question we got in response to us mentioning that we will be doing a retreat in Hawaii, somebody asked, like, should we even be visiting? Isn't it that the Native Hawaiians don't want people to come there? And that is true. They don't want tourists in the way that tourists have been coming, spending money with companies that money immediately leaves the islands, disrespecting the culture and the heritage and the sacred spaces that exist in the islands. That it was very, very important to us as we were talking about this and planning it, that we do this in a respectful way. And so that means it's not just going to be us showing up and being like, here's Hawaii. No, there are Native Hawaiians involved in like every aspect of the things that we are doing during our time there.
Yeah.
So if you've been curious about going to Hawaii, but you're like, I want to do it in a respectful way, this might be an option for you, because that was important to us, because otherwise we would not be there.
Yeah.
Okay. How many spots in the retreat are there?
2024, we cap at 12. Our November retreat is a little larger than that, but 2024, like Adelia mentioned earlier, we want to keep it intimate, and it's finding that good balance, because part of our reason for doing this is to help you meet each other, right? Is for you to kind of build some community, who are maybe thinking about the world differently than maybe the people in your life currently, who are trying to live their life in a different way. And so having enough people that, you have a chance to find someone that you click with, but keeping it intimate and cultivating a vibe.
Connections.
And a connection that is, that is intimate, that is close, that, because it is a very vulnerable space. Doing the work that we're asking you to do in terms of getting in touch with yourself and kind of dreaming big requires a certain level of vulnerability. And so we want to make sure that we are curating a space and an experience that lends itself to.
Yeah. So, space is limited. It is. Okay. Can I extend my trip beyond the retreat? So, for January, the Valentine's Day retreat runs from the 14th of February. Did I say January? I don't know.
You did it first.
Okay. 14th of February through the 20th. Those are like program days. But if you want to come in early or stay later, that is possible. Now, Ivana and I are not going to be the ones working with you to sort that out. Our logistics partners will work with you, but that's definite, because although El Salvador is a small country, and we will get to be in quite a bit of it, we will not see all of the entire country during the retreat. And I think the same is true for any of the retreats if they want to extend on either side, right?
Yes, and that is something that you can take up with our logistics team once you're registered, of just letting them know, what you're thinking about in terms of dates, and they can help you with accommodations and activities and anything else. They won't necessarily be on the ground with you, but can help you plan those additional parts of your trip.
Okay. All right. I lost my place here. Do I need any special vaccinations?
No.
I don't think so. I didn't get any when I went to any of these places. I would check what the CDC says, if you still believe the CDC. But no, it's not like we're going to the wilds of some place very far from modern civilization. It may be a little rustic in parts, but yeah, there's not any required vaccinations by the El Salvadoran government.
Yeah.
So, okay. Somebody wants to know if they can register for Oaxaca. No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Get on the wait list. If you go to reclaimtheretreat.com, scroll to the bottom, you can kind of see what our dates are, and get on the wait list in general, so you can know when, as we are opening up registration for impending dates, or you could select specifically for the location that you're interested in, and you will be the first to know when we're ready to take your money.
Okay, and I think the mailing list is going to be the answer to this question as well. When will you announce the April destination and dates?
Yeah, I would get on that wait list. You know, that will happen in the next couple of months, I would say. Fall 2023, you will find out where we're going in April. We are still figuring out some of those details, and so until that is done, we don't want to get anybody too excited, you know? But
Yeah.
know
So,
that what we're planning is great. It's going to be good.
I was going to say, with every one of these, every part of them is, I don't know if we communicate this a lot because neither Ivana or I are like good at talking business, but like every part of the retreat, where we go, what we do, all that kind of stuff, it's all very intentional. It's all like we're taking into consideration like what we want you to feel, what we want you to experience, all of that. So if we are offering, and so we're considering a place, we're still working on the details for April, but we want to make sure we've got like everything just right before we put that out there. But if you're on the wait list, you'll be the first to know when we do.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just looking through here to make sure, because I think we have hit all of the questions.
All the questions. I don't see any new ones. But, you know, if you are out there, if there is something that you missed or a question we have yet to answer, please let us know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anything else you think the people need to know?
I cannot think of anything in this moment. I feel like those questions I think they cover most of the stuff, but I don't know. Y'all tell us. Is there something that you wanted to know that we didn't know? Because we covered locations, dates, pricing, early bird pricing, what's included. I feel like we did it.
Yeah. So as a reminder, currently on sale is our Galentine's Day retreat in El Salvador, February 14th through the 20th. And right now we have early bird pricing. So $39.50 is the lowest it will be. There are payment plan options. So go submit your deposit. It's $350. Your deposit is non-refundable. But if you go to reclaimtheretreat.com, you can save, you can claim your spot. And, you know, like I said, now is really the time to get in when you have early bird pricing, but also it's where you're going to have the best payment plan options, right?
Yeah. The most flexibility.
And the most flexibility. We're doing some, you know, we have some really special and exciting things planned for our Galentine's Day retreat. It's a little different than our classic El Salvador retreat. So you should check that out and join us. Like we said, the spots are limited, right? So that is one reason we are having more retreats and locations in 2024 is we are greatly diminishing our group size. So
spots are limited, and Galentine's Day is already about halfway sold. So if you are on the fence, I mean, I'm not trying to pressure anybody, but I'm like, it's almost halfway sold out. This is the lowest price. It is not going to stay this price. Entonces, so like if you're like, yes, I want to do the retreat, like I think you need to really get a move on. If you're wanting to come in February,
yeah,
I think the time to act is now.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, as excited as I am for some of our new locations, El Salvador has a special place in my heart, and I think just so uniquely fits all of the pieces of everything that you and I are trying to do and what we want for not even just our attendees, but for all of you as it relates to taking ownership of who you are and your lives and what that looks like. El Salvador is just really one of the perfect places to do that and to do some of that work.
Yeah.
So reclaimtheretreat.com.
Just going to say that. So, yeah, you want to know anything about the retreat, that's where you go, to the website. So, I think we did it.
Yeah, I don't see any other questions. Thank you all for joining us today. It was great hanging out with you. All right.